Hey, what's up guys? John here. Oil prices, analysts are predicting to go between $140 and $200 a barrel. To put that into context, as of right now, Brent crude is $119.60. So another roughly 10% increase on the low end, all the way up to about a 75 to 80% price increase of oil. Now, what would this look like for everyday Americans? I think we're stepping into a very interesting place in this economy. And before I get started, if you want to make money online, you need help on YouTube. Maybe you want to build out an online business through YouTube, or maybe you want to invest in real estate when the market crashes, or maybe you need help with your credit. I have a dream team with credit repair, and you can work directly with me with your YouTube channel and learning about real estate investing at cashnow.video. That's cashnow.video. What I think is likely going to happen is I think a couple of unique transitions are occurring in the economy. The first is that we're leaving quantitative easing, where they were putting so much money into the economy. They kept interest rates at basically zero. The eviction moratorium was in place to make people feel like they were in a better financial position. Most people that were renting in a better financial position than they otherwise would be because they do not have to make these rental commitments. Utility bills were optional. They were supported by a PP loan, stimulus, all these different programs. Everyone felt extremely rich. Everyone felt wealthier than ever. And stocks were booming, crypto was booming, everyone was making money. Now what we're seeing is the market's pulling back. We're seeing a lot of fear start to enter this market. Stocks are falling. Crypto's falling. People are not as excited about NFTs. A lot of things are changing in this economy. And as interest rates rise, what I believe is going to happen next is I think utility bills are going to start to skyrocket as oil prices increase. So what this is going to look like is people that put the utility bills on their credit cards, they're going to have a really big shock come September, October, November, especially people that live in New York, Philadelphia, New Jersey, Maine, in the cold states. They're going to have a big sticker shock. And then also, food prices are set to skyrocket over the next few months as oil prices rise. So they're saying $140 a barrel. 140, it could be a gallon, who knows at this point. $140 a barrel. Now what they're saying here is why gas prices seem to go up faster than they go down. The most expensive gas in the United States can be found in Chevron, in Northern California for about $9.46 a gallon. It costs about $289 to fill up an F-150, and premiums cost about $9.77. And nationwide average prices of record 46, with California at $6.34 per gallon, and New York City more than $5, $6.34 per gallon, right? The big culprit, of course, is soaring prices of crude oil, up $16 a barrel in the last month to $119. The benchmark, West Texas Intermediate, but the oil prices alone doesn't explain why gas is so much more expensive now than it was in March, when crude oil first spiked higher than $130 a barrel following Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Basic supply and demand is an important factor. Developed world inventories are now at 7-year lows of 2.6 billion barrels of oil, of petroleum products, 300 million below the 5-year average, right? So obviously we're producing a hell of a lot less. We're cut off Russia. So, we're all fighting over the same supply. Prices are just going to continue. Gas inventories in the United States have shrunk from 246 million barrels at the end of February to 219. So basically another 10% we lost last week. According to the Energy Information Administration, with refineries and oil companies pumping at maximum capacity, there's precious little supply cushion to meet rampant demand for fuels, paired with the loss of millions of barrels per day of Russian supplies due to sanctions, right? So we get the idea. But they're predicting here $200 a barrel is the number that they say is on the horizon. Well, here's what Goldman thinks about this. High oil and gas prices need to rise even higher this summer to incentivize new production and discourage consumption, according to Goldman. So they want to discourage consumption, according to Goldman. The Wall Street Bank is now forecasting Brent crude at $140 a barrel between July and September. So starting in the next 30 days, right? That's massive. From its prior call of $125 a barrel, that's a massive jump. Going from $119 where we are now to saying, yeah, we're $125, we'll pick up about 7%. No, we're going to go from 119 to 125, or 125, right? Or 140 from 125. Worse, Goldman Sachs said summer retail gas prices are going to need a spike to levels normally associated with $160 oil in order to curtail demand. A large spike in prices remains quite possible in the summer, Goldman Sachs strategist wrote in a report to its clients. The forecast suggests that the worst is not nearly over for consumers already dealing with high gas prices. They're dealing with a hell of a lot more than that. They're dealing with this insane price every time that they go anywhere to spend anything. Everything is baked into this massive inflation, right? And they're also dealing with mental abuse across everywhere. We're all seeing it. Everyone's getting emotionally beaten and battered everywhere. I think that is probably taxing people more than what they're actually paying for things. The national average price for regular gasoline jumped another 5 cents on Tuesday to a fresh record of $4.92 a gallon, according to AAA. That's up 30 cents over the past week and 62 cents in the past month. It's driving me crazy. I'm looking at this thing right now, $5.99. Are you serious? 13 states in Washington, D.C. already have average gas prices of $5 or higher, with New Jersey, Massachusetts, Maine hitting new thresholds on Tuesday. Ohio, Pennsylvania, Utah, and Idaho are just pennies from $5. I'm telling you guys, I really believe in the next 12 months, probably less, we're going to see a national average well over $10. National average. If you're in New York or California or one of these expensive cities, you're going to likely see probably a $12 to $13 average. There's of course going to be some locations, maybe $14, $15 to fill up your tank, like we're seeing in Northern California. Downtown LA, there's a station I think charging almost $9. I think it's like $8.90 or $8.80 a gallon for regular. Goldman Sachs is now calling for Brent oil to average $135 a barrel during the second half of this year and the first half of next. That's up $10 from the bank's previous forecast. That's why I really believe if you're thinking about getting a luxury car, maybe you want, some people love G-Wagons, some people love Range Rovers, some people love, Escalades. These cars, they're going to be giving them away. Because if you're going to spend $350, $400 to fill up the tank on one of those vehicles, how many people are going to be able to, have the means to make that commitment? They're going to make the $2,500 to $3,000 monthly car payment on a G-Wagon? I don't think so. I think that's all going to come down to reality. I think prices are going to start to really floor. People are paying $100,000 over sticker. $100,000 over sticker for a G-Wagon. How insane is that? Is it just me? Those cars are $150,000. They're spending $250,000, $300,000 to get into a G-Wagon. It's nuts. We believe oil prices need to rally further to normalize the unsustainably low levels of global oil inventories, as well as OPEC and refinery spare capacities. In March, Brent briefly spiked to nearly 14-year high of $139.13 a barrel, but that's proved temporary. They mentioned this $139 barrel, and people will say, okay, well, $139 a barrel, that would mean that it's not that big of a deal. But theoretically, you could have oil be $1 a barrel, and gas could still be $10 a gallon if there's only one tiny refinery in the country operating. And that's kind of what we're doing. We're tightening up this supply. So being at $139 a barrel in the past is going to be a lot different than going to $160 a barrel going forward, or $140. It's all relative to the amount of refineries that are going to be in existence. And it seems like every month we're losing refineries, losing access, right? So they go on to say oil is not at what it was in March when it hit 135. But what has changed is gasoline inventories have continued to decline. And I think they are going to continue to decline. I think we're going to see, this is going to, I think, present a massive opportunity. I'm an optimistic guy. I like to, see some type of benefit, even though this situation, obviously, it's not a good thing. I think we're going to see a lot of industries change, mainly just because shipping and distribution is going to get to a point to where consumers are going to ask themselves, can I really afford to pay this? Because all the cost of shipping and distribution is going to be passed on to the consumer, right? Everything, all spending habits. I think all industries are about to be changed over oil and shipping and distribution and everything that we're seeing right now. We're entering the beginning stages of what I think is the start of the fourth industrial revolution. This is where it all starts. We're going to see $200 a barrel. There's no doubt about it. We're going to see $300 a barrel, no doubt about it. And the reason I say that is because they say that we're transitioning, right? So we're leaving. So if we're leaving, obviously prices are just going to continue to climb. So if prices are going to continue to climb, then saying that we're not going to just climb with the lack of supply, it doesn't make much sense to me. Prices are going to continue to roar, and there's going to be massive opportunities in those smart entrepreneurs that see this trend ahead of time, realizing, okay, the business I'm in right now is going to get really hit over the next 1 to 2 years. And because of that, I need to change. I need to make a big modification. And they start doing that now, start doing the research, start learning now, so that they can position themselves accordingly. It's the ones that know that there's going to be a big problem, but decide to do nothing, and then they try to take action in 6 months or 12 months when it's going to be a hell of a lot harder, right? So take action now in the industry that you know has the most potential if that fits your box. If you think that you're in an industry right now that's going to be greatly impacted, what do you think about this entire situation? Drop your comments below, hit the like button, subscribe, and also subscribe to my second channel. My second YouTube channel is going to be a call-in show, an interactive show. I'm really looking forward to it starting this week. And LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, everything is in the banner, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.